What up, Dogueros, and welcome back to Dogo Verdadero Podcast, the podcast dedicated to the true, authentic form of the Dogo Argentino dog. Today we got part 4 of our Dogo Roundtable series where we'll be introducing Tiffany Geeson. Tiffany Geeson is the owner of Champion Eustace. Champion Eustace is probably the most versatile bitch in the country as far as on paper. She has titles in fast cat, dog diving, hunting, and even conformation. She's just an overall great dog while still being very young. I think this is going to be a great episode, so y'all stay tuned.
We're a little more passionate about it than the pet homes. You know, we're a little more concerned with keeping them for what they're meant to be doing, and we're a little more realistic too about, you know, is he worth a flip or isn't he? What do I need to do here? Does he need to go find a different job? So get involved and reach out to us and ask questions and bring it on. That's what I say.
Well said. Well said. I appreciate you giving that aspect, especially from the hunter aspect. I mean, these dogs are mostly about being hunting. So I think it's important that that's the front aspect of what the breed is. And I appreciate you giving us that especially for the U.S. side. So I guess from here, we can go to Tiffany and we'll let her speak a little bit. She has a great dog, Eustace. She's a champion. We've seen her in the pool. We've seen her in the field. We've seen her in the shows, in the confirmation show ring. And from what I can tell, she's always done great. So I would hope let Tiffany come and talk a little bit about her experience with the Dogos and what she thinks realistically about everyone having a Dogo to turn out to be Eustace and what it takes to fit for Eustace.
As I said before, I don't know if I'm just lucky to have such a well-rounded dog, but you know, if you read the standard and you read what the founding father wanted, he wanted a versatile dog. It talks about the dog being, you know, the family pet, but at the same time knowing a friendly stranger. You know, like, to me, when I read that, maybe everybody has a different interpretation. I read that it should be a well-rounded dog. It should be a dog that, hey, I can take out with my buddies, dump with a whole bunch of dogs it's never met before, and everybody's just going to go to work, you know? And that's what Eustace does. I know not every dog does that. When I first got her, I thought that's how they all were supposed to be. And as you said, you know, a lot of these competitions have cropped up and they've been pretty eye-opening, you know, and not every dog is that way, but like Mike was saying before, not every dog is raised that way. And Eustace wasn't raised on a ranch, but I knew what she was supposed to be from the very beginning. And I took as much effort and care to build that and develop that as I could. But at the same time, I'm a dog trainer. So if I wasn't driving 3 hours to expose her to a pig one weekend, she was getting dragged with me to other events with the other dogs, you know? And so all those things build confidence in a dog, and a confident dog is going to do inevitably what a confident dog is bred to do, you know? Do I think everybody should own them?
I think that's
Absolutely
a big one
not.
that you just spoke on, confidence.
Huh?
That confidence and socialization is definitely a big part of making your dog be okay in those different situations and still perform. I think that's
Absolutely.
what it's not really spoken about, but that you gave her those opportunities to be a well-rounded dog first, and then she can use those instincts to put it with that temperament.
Right. And as Mike and even Jimmy touched on, you know, a pet dog is raised very differently, and it is constantly telling them no. It's constantly putting in boundaries. It's constantly squishing behaviors you don't want. I mean, and we don't, and as Jimmy said, like, the pound is full of Dogos, but it's full of every breed. And the problem is so many of these dogs were bred for a purpose and with a reason. And we keep finding them in homes that don't have any outlet towards that. You know, do I think non-hunters can own Dogos? Absolutely. Do I think that well-bred dogos can be in pet homes. It all depends on, is that pet home going to give it an outlet? Yeah. Is it going to give them an outlet, And the thing that's kind of cool is we are living in I'm 43 years old, and I've watched dogs and there's all these new performance sports and all these new things cropping up that are allowing pet people to get more involved with their dog, right? And those things weren't there in the past. I mean, like, as corny as it is, there's barn hunt. And if you're never going to put your dog on a hog, but you want to let it get its hunting instincts out, go find a barn hunt club.
It's better than nothing.
That's definitely.
Yeah, it's better than nothing, and it gives the dog an outlet. It
gives it an outlet. Give it something to do.
Absolutely, and then it gives you something to do with that dog. You're building a relationship with the dog. You're in there doing things with it. I don't do barn hunt with Eustace because I don't want her in the woods looking for a rat. But I do it with my other dogs because it gives them something to do. It's something that's easy. It's low impact. My old bones don't get hurt. It's not like me chasing her around in the woods for 6 hours, but it's definitely, I don't think it's a breed for everyone. It is disheartening to see so many breeders just kind of pumping out litters and selling to whoever. And coming from somebody who breeds working dogs, I don't understand the people who are making litters without a plan. They're just putting 2 dogs together and they're just they're just selling them to anybody, or they're breeding litters when they already have litters on the ground. I mean, I'm about to have a Dutch Shepherd litter, and I have people that have been on the waiting list for a year for a puppy out of this bitch, and God, I hope she gives us enough puppies. But if she doesn't, like, there are people that'll probably keep waiting, but I have a plan. I hate, and I don't know. And, I know a lot of people like, DACA is really trying to help the breed, but a lot of people, want it to do this and want it to do that. But I don't know. I don't know what we can do as a community. I don't know what the right answer is or how we can fix it, but through education and making sure that, if anybody meets you and your cool ass dog, make sure that they know that, hey, if you ever want a dog like this, you need to look for a reputable breeder. You need to make sure you have the time to do the things that need to be done with it, and know that the dog is capable of doing cool things. And if you get it from somebody who's breeding for things like temperament and versatility and has a plan, then you're going to be successful with the dog. Does that make sense?
No, it definitely does. It definitely does. You're a little bit more informed of a customer. This isn't the breed to go into open-eyed just to pick anyone that looks cute. For sure, you should definitely know what's going on.
I mean, Eustace is my first dogo. She's only 3 years old, but I have been involved in the breed. I've been going to the specialties. I've been hanging out with people, dogueros, since 2015. So I have done my research. I've done my due diligence, but I know that that's not the normal home, like,
yep.
That's not
like also being open to speak to those people that, maybe they don't have a greatly bred dog, or maybe they are breeding poor dogs themselves. I think because of the type of dog we're dealing with, is very on that ego side. So it's easy for you to be like, your dogs ain't shit. That's why it's not hunting. But, there's better ways to do everything. I could pull you to the side and say, man, that's a great dog, but he's probably never going to work for hunting because of A, B, and C. But, if you do this and maybe pick up this type of dog, maybe you can take your line somewhere else. Because I think if we do it that way, we will keep from turning into being the pit bull, like Jimmy was saying. There's probably about 30 different levels of a pit bull, going from the pet bull to the game bred, put in the box pit bull. There's the super dogs, there's weight pull dogs, there's everything. But I think there's so many more in that pit bull side because everybody just wanted to have a cool colored dog that had muscles and they didn't want to help the next guy. So if I can see you doing something across the, even if you live in a whole different state, like, hey man, come down here with my dogs. Let me show you how I train them, why my dogs aren't so aggressive, or why my dogs are a little more hot. Maybe yours are too soft. I think none of us really are breeders, I don't believe, but just even on the aspect of the different places and experiences we've seen, we should be open to sharing them more than just holding them over people's heads. That's the only way we're going to keep it going and keep good dogos going.
Yeah. And if we magnetize back to his dream and his goal and his standard between the group of people that truly wants to preserve it, it's easy to magnetize back and pick out those dogs and pups that are going to be that deal, and steer completely clear of those backyard breeders. I mean, that's the easiest thing you can do. Don't put your money in their pocket, and don't encourage them to breed. And I see people get a female pup, she's 8 months old, and they're talking about which stud they're going to breed her to already next year. Never proved herself, never done anything, and that wheel will continue to turn. Do all you
These
can.
These are dangerous dogs. They're dangerous. You haven't even seen their attitude by that age.
No. And we put 2 years, at least 2 years, hard work into these dogs. Like Eustace, she's 3 years old. Your Joker's 3 years old. I think Eustace is 3, right? She 3?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so think about it, Tiffany. I mean, it's at least 2 full years of exposure. And I'm not just talking about hunting, but all the things you've done with her too. We're bonded. Yeah. I'm damn. Oh, yeah. Damn. You got another 6 to 8 years of hard service in her, and then the pet years after that, you're damn sure not looking to replace her yet, are you? So these people are so quick to pump out litters, and I'm like, pump the brakes, guys. I'm not ready for a pup yet. This dog's 3 years old. I just put 2 years of blood, sweat, and tears in him, and now I want to enjoy him for 5. And then, hold off. We don't need another litter on the ground. And I understand that people that have good dogs, they'll breed a litter because they need one pup. They're like, I'll keep one pup and I'll sell the litter. Boy, I wish you'd hold off a little while because we're just flooded with dogs, even from the good bloodlines. So between us, if we can just, like I said, if we can just magnetize back to the people that are sticking true to the deals and stay away from the peddlers, then I think we can preserve what it's meant to be. And don't matter what home it goes to, but we can keep the better quality dogs amongst ourselves and network them. And we should never have to fear that it's going to veer too far away from what you want and what I want and what Tiffany wants and Sherry. We all know what we want. We know what we can handle, what we can manage, and what they're supposed to do. So we keep networking within ourselves, and we'll always have that around into our later years. I guarantee it.
What's up, Dogettos? Thanks again for listening. That was part 4 of our Dogo Roundtable series on our Dogo Verdaderos podcast. If you guys can give me a like, a share, a comment, I'd really appreciate it. Stay tuned for part 5. It's coming right around the bend. Peace.